going to start in different places for different people?
If you choose to start your game by importing your Mass Effect 1 save, your game will feel like your game.
So there could be a different cutscene that starts the game, literally?
Literally, the first moment will be different.
Wow. All right, so that's pretty cool.
And then throughout. Yeah.
How does the team even comprehend, I mean, how to build that? Because it's like, you know, you have all those choices from 1 that you then have to add into 2, and then people making more choices. I mean, does it get sort of just, you know, impossible to even think about all the possibilities?
It's, yeah, it's definitely very challenging. In terms of the writing, for example, yeah, it does, you know, it's mind-blowing what possibilities there are and how much work it would involve. But this team is actually able to really look at how you practically apply that, how you can actually get it done.
You're going to see more sort of lead-ups for the Mass Effect 1 fans to the story. I mean, there's obviously Ascension that came out. I mean, is there going to be more pieces of the story that'll come out as DLC?
In terms of starting to tie into Mass Effect 2 and the actual story there, yeah, there'll be some things that if you're interested in things outside the game to like kind of get you geared up for what Mass Effect 2 is going to be about, there'll be that as well. If you haven't played Mass Effect 1, then Mass Effect 2 is an excellent entry point because, you know, like a good movie or a book, it incorporates, you know, it brings people in right
Start
from
with
the start.
previously on Mass Effect.
Yeah, it tells you what you need to know, and there's kind of a canon, like what would, if we had to write one story, what would it be? What would the writers have done, kind of thing? And then that's kind of what the canon backstory is for Mass Effect 1 if you enter at Mass Effect 2.
In Mass Effect Ascension, there is the elusive man, right?
Yes, that's right.
And a lot of people have said that, you know, compared to the first novel where that sort of, you know, really introduced, you know, potentially the main sort of bad guy or character, and that was Sarah, and that, you know, there's this elusive man who happens to be tied to Cerberus there, right? And he's sort of a main character in that, so a lot of people are speculating that he could be, you know, the main sort of evil force in Mass Effect 2.
That's a good theory. You've done your homework.
We have to do our homework, right? So you're not ruling that out?
No, I'm not ruling that out. I mean, the Elusive Man is, you know, if you read the book, the Elusive Man is an incredibly powerful character in the Mass Effect universe. So that's something we want to explore ongoing. And
will we get to see him in Mass Effect 2? A lot of people, you know, he's perfectly aligned. He's had the plastic surgery, right?
You know what? I'll tell you, you'll be able to see the Elusive Man in Mass Effect 2.
Wow.
There you go. And it's really awesome. It's an amazing new character. But that's an example of. You know, if you've played Mass Effect 1, you may have an idea that, okay, I know who all the main characters are. You may have killed some of them, you know, so
maybe you're playing as the Elusive Man in Mass Effect 2.
Maybe. I think you expect the story to be bigger and better, the graphics to be bigger and better and everything. But when you pick it up, that is the big shock with Mass Effect 2, is it plays just so much better, so much smoother. The shooting, the combat, it's all so much more fluid. You know, we are constantly comparing it against the very best shooters that are out there, and you know, just brutally looking at what we have and constantly improving it. And just the play is fantastic now.
Now you had you know, great sort of play in the first one. You had, you know, introduced the idea of some vehicles and whatnot. Are we going to see space combat in Mass Effect 2?
There is no actual space combat in Mass Effect 2, but that's something that we want to have as part of the trilogy at some point.
One thing I have to ask you though is there going to be an alien sex scene in Mass Effect 2? Because I have to know if Fox News is going to be giving me the call in 2010. What are we going to see in terms of romance here?
Romances will be as well done and as sophisticated in Mass Effect 2 as they were in Mass Effect 1. You know, I think one thing we can probably tell you is that there's going to be more people that you can meet and take with you, take out on missions and stuff like that. And so there's actually more romance options in Mass Effect 2.
I also have one more thing to give you, if you're interested.
I'd be honored.